Alright, so it's day 6 on the Foxic build. It is the day after I was going to be working on it. I was just exhausted. It's been quite a lot of work going into this one, so yeah. Anyway, so as I said, I had some stuff to do on the arm to make sure it was working correctly, and I thought the clutch was slipping. Turns out the clutch wasn't slipping. I have a big gear, 64 tooth, mod 1.25 gear on the second stage, and what was happening was that was pushing out of the way under load. So when you put something really heavy on it, like if you leant on it, you could stop it from moving, which is very bad. So couldn't figure out why it was doing that. And it was simply that a bearing was in the wrong position. So the bearing had moved all the way to the far end, so that it was basically had a double bearing at one end, and it was under load. It was just pushing the gear out of the way, which it shouldn't be able to do because it doesn't really have that much space. But it was enough of it was able to push it out enough to stop it from lifting. So I've had to cut. So I have keyed and welded gears. So I key the gears and then they're welded to stop everything from coming out. So I had to grind away the weld that was on there and just tap it through, which was a fairly simple job. Tap the bearing back into position, and the bearing on the other side came out completely, so that I could. And I just used a bit of tube to make a spacer so that it can't go that far back now. It can't move out of that position. So hopefully that's going to have solved the issue. But that'll be why it was stripping a gear, and that'll be why it was snapping the shaft in front of it, because it was jamming that shaft by moving out of the way. That came from rushing the build on it, and I've got a bit of time to fix it now, and I have done. I've also installed the other bearing mount on the same side where that was, so that's good. And yeah, it seems to work a lot better. So the next thing is to put it back in the robot. So that's fixed, that works. Yeah, that's it. I just have to make the anti-tipper thing go in. Had a little attempted tussle with the empty Foxic chassis. It's a very rolly chassis, so I've left the bearings in, the wheels. And as soon as you nudge it, it just rolls and rolls and rolls. So I attempted to pin it against something to flip it, which worked. And the thing I flipped it against was the bins, and the bins went flying. And I had to lift a robot off the top of one of the bins, not the top. It fallen over and was on the side of it. So we'll be doing that again. So yeah. In the latter part of the video, the clutch gave out. So yeah, the motor was going, and it was like, what the hell is that? Well, we've got another problem. Very, very simple. When I've taken apart the gearbox to fix that issue, I haven't tightened it up anywhere near as much as it should have been. So that's my fault, but that is fixed. I've taken it out, I've just torqued it up, so it's at torque, the right torque now. I could put it back in and do some more testing. However, I've got other stuff to do today. Yeah, as far as this build goes, I should do one more day where of actual manufacturing and stuff. Very little things. It's just putting on the anti-tipper, which means opening up them holes in the front, which I did on Friday, and putting in some bolts, which should be fine, I think. Otherwise, it is finished. It is 100% finished. Bar the aesthetic side of things, a little bit of paint here and there, which I need to do. But otherwise, I'm really pleased. That works. So, yeah, great. I have flattened 2 sets of batteries, so I have to charge them overnight. Not overnight, I should charge them tonight. And I'll watch Forged in Fire on my phone while I charge the batteries. Because never leave your batteries unattended. But yeah. What you'll have noticed in the test video that I did today was it had the old Foxic head on. That is because it's got a hardened steel nose, which the new head will have, but I haven't put it on yet. So it would struggle to get underneath Predator. And when I put it on, I was like, I'll just run it with the hardened steel nose, forgetting that I'm not hitting Predator head on, because you wouldn't get underneath Predator head on. Because its nose pushes down into the floor hydraulically, and I've left the hydraulics with the nose pushing into the floor. So that was no good. No good at all. So, the other thing you'll have noticed is that there's a big bar that comes out of Foxic while I'm driving around. That is the bar that goes in the top of the mount to stop the head coming off. There's another one underneath it, and I simply didn't put bolts in that one. So there's a bolt on one side and there's not a bolt on the other. And that's my fault. So I need to stop doing this. I need to stop getting excited and rushing things. But hey, it's there, it's together. The clutch is tightened up now. I'm going to go read a driver's ed manual. All right, toodles.